Hello, 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 everyone. This is your girl Shanidra with Beyond the Cover. Yes, where you will discover exactly what it is and what it's going to be. Now, as you can see on me, I have my Amore to Classy Boutique jumpsuit on. Also, sweetheart. As you can see behind me, we have our more too classy swim suit. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but it has the swim cap as well, sweetheart. As you know for sure, we also have our Destined magazine now available for you. Yes, indeedy. So if you want one of these, you can come to our location at 7122 Regal Lane, or you can actually, purchase it on the website that I will post later on. Also, we have our new catalog, sweetheart. This has the actual jumpsuits in here, our new jumpsuits and swimsuits. So you want to get our new catalog so you can see what we have to be here on display. Also, sweetheart, we also have, oh, see, this one is still wanting to be a part. Again, everything that's on this magazine, our catalog, the first catalog is 50% off. So, as you know, we have the fashion show models will be here at location on Sunday. Now, also, we will be at, is it Walter Hardy Park? On June the 11th, and we are going to stop by the ride to, my daughter's ballet class teacher and support her as much as we can this Saturday on June the 11th. But straight from there, we're going to go and Van. So if you see any swimsuits or what have you on the website at seaportraitsmagazine.com, then you can actually purchase at the locations that we will be at. As you know, we need to set goals, and our goal for this month is to do what we have to do. Now, if you don't have a clue, I'm going to let you know. But this goals journal will actually help you out. It gives you notes. It gives you the calendar. It gives you inspirational quotes for you. It asks you questions, your core values. All things to keep you on track for your goals. So all you need to know in one little easy booklet for only $7.50. $8. $8. This one is $8. The other one was $7.50, but this is $8. Now, as you know, before we get on the show, I am going to show you guys because our Beyond the Cover summer camp has already started. But as you know, tomorrow Regions Bank will be here, and also Locks Hair will be here, teaching them about her natural hair products, and she'll be bringing some of her products to show the students here about it. So I'm so excited about that. If you want your child to just come for that one day to experience that, it's only $25 for that day. They'll be able to get their financial literacy around 2, and she will be here around 11:30. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you the ads to last.
Behind my game boy, I got game girl, it comes easy. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
All right. As you know, for the show, I am going to help you guys out. Now, I know you are wondering, what do I mean when I say watch for the signs from God? Because I know there's tarot and all this nonsense that's not of God. But the signs of God is like, as I will tell y'all last year about, the eagles and, stuff like that. He gives you signs. He tells you things through people, um, answers your prayers and stuff like that. Those type of signs. Not tarot, not no demonic stuff. So don't go to no sorcerer, because all of that is in his word that we are not supposed to even go to these. These people are not of him. So those are not the signs that I'm talking about. Want to make that very clear before we even dig deep into anything, because that is not of him. And I didn't know at one point in time. I had someone that I did know, and I always invite people to do pop-up shows when I know about it, and pop-up shops I meant. And this one particular individual, it seemed like it was good. She was telling me about good stuff or whatever. And I was like, oh, you should, bring it to a pop-up shop at OBC. I'm telling her to bring it into a dang on church. Didn't have no clue about it. Nothing about it. That's how I'm able to tell you. So when you do know, you ain't got no excuses. But so now you know that's not of God. And you need to decide not to do it or go to any of that. He talks to you. He talks to his sheep. So those are the signs that I'm talking about from God. Strictly from God himself. When he talks to you himself. Not through anything else, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that that was very clear before I started, that we should not go to any other source but God. He is our source. And those are the signs that I'm talking about. It's a very important factor before I get started. Now that I said all of that, and we know that we're not going anywhere but God, we're going to keep looking up for the signs, just like when you're on the road. It's always important for us to, look at the signs and make sure that we're on the right path. Because sometimes we just going along on this journey and we're like, am I on the right path or not? And God always sends us signs like, keep going, you're on the right track, to, go. Now, when we're not on the right track, as we know, anything that God gives us creative addeth no sorrow. So that means we're on the wrong road. If this is a bumpy road and we're like, oh snap, we done got off track. So we need to get back on track so that we can get back to where God has us to go, to the route that God has us on. Because so many times we are quick to jump here. Oh, well, I'm just going to go over here, or they have a detour that you're supposed to go to. Instead of going on that road, you decide, oh no, I'm not going to take this detour because it's going to take me out my way and it's going to take too long. So I'm not going to do that. There ain't nothing wrong with this road. And so you decide to go on that bumpy road that they told you, caution, do not go on. Do not go on this road. They got the whole sign. But no, what are you going to do? You're going to drive around that sign and act like you didn't see it and all of that. And, now it's all bumpy. Now your tires flat. Now you really got to wait. Now you really got to remember that way was going to take too long. You couldn't take that route because it was going to take too long. But now your tires blew out. Now you got to wait on AAA or somebody to come and help you out. The route that was faster that you didn't want to wait, and you're not going to go around the world and go the extra mile and have to do all this extra stuff because, you could just go this way. But, this way is not safe. This way is not for you. But you choose to go the wrong way anyway. You chose to do the Jonah. Anyway, now we all had our Jonah moments. So that's not just, oh yeah, you had the Jonah moment. Now we all, including when I would decide what I was going to do, I was impatient and, I'm like, honey, I'm not about to wait and I'm not about to this and I'm not about to that. And, I don't have to wait and all of this and all of that. And God was like, oh, really? Okay, go ahead and go that way. You want to go that way? Okay, I got you. And he'll allow you to go that way. Since you think that's a faster way and that's okay, that you can go your own way and all of this stuff, but now you're going through all types of hell. Now, you went that way and now your tire done blew out and then it made you hit a pipe. So now it done busted out something else up under the hood and, everything's just spiraling out of control and you don't know which way to go. And God is like, oh, no, you got on that boat. You thought you could go on the boat and go the opposite way than what I said to you? You going to go that way when I told you to go to Nineveh? You got the audacity to go that way? Okay, in front of me? You like, you want to do this in front of me? Like I can't see? He was like, okay, go ahead. So now, just like Jonah, even though Jonah was on the boat, that boat became very rocky. And they were swaying. They're like, oh, hey, what is this? Big old storm coming, all types of hell breaking loose. Because he went the wrong way. Didn't even listen. Didn't wait, wasn't patient, didn't want to do what God told him to do. He told him to go tell them people in Nineveh. Oh, no, that's not what he wanted to do. So he's not going to do it. He's telling God what he's not going to do. He think he can hide from God and lie to God and don't have to do and decide what he's going to do. Go ahead, decide what you're going to do and see what happens to you. Now, you on this little, you went on the detour thing. You didn't go on the detour. You went on the road that they told you was closed. But you wanted to go on that road anyway because you thought it was faster and you're not about to go all the way around and go through all of this extra stuff. And when you could just go this way and it'll be faster and you ain't got this to do. Okay, now your tire popped off and now your hood is smoking and all types of stuff. Now you really stuck. Now what? Now, you're doing it your way. Now you want to pray. Oh, now you want to talk to God. Oh, now you want to hear. Oh. But when he told you not to go that way was closed. You cannot go that way. But you decided to go that way anyway. Anyway, you decided to go that way anyway. You decided to go that way anyway. And then now you in a rut. Now you like, oh, what happened? See, every time I try to do right, you wasn't doing right, sweetheart. You went your way. You did what you wanted to do. And when I did what I wanted to do, I was looking like a fool. Period. That's why I don't do what I want to do. I do what God has me to do. I look for the signs that I'm like, Lord, am I doing all right? This is where I find the signs in his word. The basic instructions before leaving earth, the Bible. I do not to go to any other source but God's source. So if he doesn't tell me, I'll start getting into his word, fasting, praying, you know, looking for the signs to make sure that I'm on the right track. And he'll let me know. Because every time I pray, honey, he lets me know that he heard me. So all I have to say on today is that we must obey. Yes, obey. We have to obey in order to receive anything. See, the problem is that I've learned even with trying to help people start their business and all this, because as you know, I started my seed destined to be to help people go towards their destiny with my Destined magazine. Everything is destined. But, as I have done this since 2017, trying to help many people, there have been some successful people, but the successful people that have decided to go through with it, I can only give you the tools. I can't do it for you, sweetheart. I can't do it for you. But see, this microwave ministry that people are so used to is right now, right here. I need it now. He said now, so I'm going to get it now. And why I got to wait? And I've been praying and but you ain't been doing nothing. He said faith without works is dead. So you can have faith. Oh, I'm waiting on the Lord. Yeah. And he on, yeah. Because I've been praying. I've been waiting because I know he about to do it because Pastor told me he was going to do it this week and he saw it. Well, what did you do this week? Did you prepare for anything? Did you clean up your act? Did you, because he said we just read in Leviticus. I gave y'all Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. He specifically told you if you obey, this is the reward for obedience. He starts with obedience. Now, if you are obedient, then, he will defeat your enemies. Then, you will be full and your cupboards will be, all of this stuff will be added unto you. Only then will that happen. But, as we know, if we do not obey, the very next page, we're still in the 26th chapter of Leviticus. In Leviticus, the 26th chapter, what we read, you read it. Leviticus, the 26th chapter tells you this is the reward for obedience to God, not of this world, not doing the things that this world tells you to do. And, oh, yeah, and I've been following this, and you've been following everything that the world tells you to do. That's not what God has you to do. When you are friends with this world, you're an enemy to God, period, sweetheart. So you're not getting blessed by God. You're being tested, not blessed. So that's why you stressed, because you sitting here thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna give it to me. Oh, he's gonna give it to me right now, and all this and that. And then you get mad at God, like God is the problem, like my father is the problem. Why you don't have what you need? Really, really. When he told you to go this way, oh no, you're not gonna do all that. I shouldn't have to wait. And God gave me these gifts, and people trying to play me and trying not to pay me and all this and that. Okay. Do you think that they are your source? Do you think that God is your source? And you're not going to get paid every week or every other week or whatever. I mean, you may, and that's okay. That's great. That's awesome. You get paid every day, every week, all day, every day. But there's no certain way to know when you're going to get paid. It happens sporadically. So, that's why you should put all your faith and trust in God. And it's the love of money that is the root to all evil. Therefore, if we start chasing the money and we're only doing this for the money and this is how I'm going to make some money and I and me and I and me, money, 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 then that's how we get in trouble. Because we get off the path of God and looking at the signs and allowing God to direct our path, we let the money direct our path. Oh no, because I gotta make money. I ain't about to be waiting. And honey, I tried the business thing. Honey, I gotta have a job because, honey, this business stuff ain't for me, and it ain't for everybody. It's not, honey. It's not. You gotta be built for this. Literally, it's not easy. See, easy is working a job. That's easy for me. You clock in, clock out. Don't have to worry about it no more. When you're doing a business, you're doing all the operations. You don't just get to walk in and everything's operating for you and all this stuff. No, you're doing all the operations. You paying all the insurance. You paying all the bills. You doing all this and all that to keep it operated. Plus doing the operations. So this is not for the slow, as you know. So when we are being children of God, we have to decide. Because I always ask people, number one, if you have my See Destined um, guidebook, which has been on Amazon, I've just seen that it's on at Walmart. But if you do have my book or whatever, my guidebook, you will see I ask, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? That's what I want to know. What are you willing to suffer for? Because you think that everything's supposed to just be handed to you and you don't have to do nothing. You think I don't do nothing? Do you think I don't do nothing? Do you think I don't do nothing? You think this is just, oh, she just gets to do videos. She just gets to do, whatever she wants to do and nothing happens to her. And I mean, weapons form against me, but they can't prosper. But there's always battles that we have to fight. See, what they didn't realize with David, sweetheart. See, David, though he was just watching the sheep, and though he was so little and so unique, you know, when he was watching the sheep, they didn't know that he had to fight off lions and bears because they still see him every day. They didn't know the battles he's had to fight and all of that stuff as he's watching the sheep. Because aren't you supposed to just be watching the sheep? You can't beat Goliath, but David was the one that was built for it. While y'all thinking y'all need an army, see, we are warriors, sweetheart. We are warriors. So therefore, we don't need a whole army. We can do everything that an army can do in one person. One person. I was watching Undercover Boss the other day because I don't want to be one of those bosses that has a big company and don't know nothing about it. See, I built this up from the root. I built the foundation, so I know exactly how how it is and how to operate it properly because I had to operate it to myself. But as you know, for sure, I was watching Undercover Boss, and a lot of them didn't even have a clue how to do half of their own stuff. They was like, "Oh, this is hard. I did not know it. Oh, how did I? Wow, you have to do all of this for me." And like, what? You can't do this, woman. So I'm so used to multitasking. I don't even know how to just do one thing at once. I cannot do it. I have to, clean the kitchen, cook, then while the food is in the oven, I need to wash clothes. I mean, I have stuff to do. That's why I'm able to do all this stuff because I don't just sit around and just be like, yeah, God said he gave me these gifts and he's just gonna do whatever I need him to do. And no, we got to do what he asks us to do first. Dang, didn't you read Leviticus the 26th chapter? Read it. If you are obedient to God, all these things shall be added unto you. If you are disobedient, you want to do things your way, and you don't want to do it Yahweh, then you can go ahead and hit the highway. Period. End of discussion. There's nothing else to be said. We're going up there with no excuses. That's what he said. That's why I'm trying to get some act right. And that's why I'm trying to help you get some act right. Because we cannot continue to do the same things and then complain. He said, do everything without grumbling and complaining, arguing and complaining. But that's all y'all seem to do. Oh, it ain't See, that's too much. See, See, I knew you have to do too much. I don't have it. You doing too much for nothing. You don't have no time, no nothing. But you wanna no, you don't want to put any effort towards building your own. Your own. It's easy for me to, how could I give another? Thank you, Lord. It's easy for me to just have a little boyfriend or what have you right now or whatever. I can have that any day I want. I've never had an issue with men being attracted. Never. Ever in life. But and I've never had an issue because God let me know. See, when you are connected and you listen to God, He lets you know your problems and what you don't have a problem with. Like people would say that, that, oh, you can't trust me. You don't listen to no man. You don't let a man lead. Now, where are you leading me to? It has to make sense. You don't have to lead me nowhere. You can't tell me. It has to make sense, period. And it has to be, God, because I was like, well, dang, Lord, am I like that? Can I not let someone lead me or whatever? And I can. It's a proven fact. I can listen. I can allow, the right one to lead me. But it's not going to just be anybody. They can't even tell me the layout of the house. They just want me to move into nothing. What is this? Like, we have to lay the foundation down. Our foundation has to be built on God, number one. See, that's another one of our problems. We want to decide who we're going to date. We want to decide what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and all that stuff. And have no clue, have not even acknowledged God in none of our ways. But then we want to pray and act like we've been obeying when we've been laying and not praying. And God said, if you don't hear what I'm saying, then that's the problem. He said, what you're not going to do is continue to do the same thing and complain. You want to continue. That's insane. That's insanity. Continuously doing the same thing and you expect a different outcome. Read what insanity means. Why would you expect anything other than what it has been? No, because I know that, this going to change it. I know that. No, you don't, because you haven't even talked to God. You have not even gotten any sign from God. You have not even picked up his word. You have not even listened to a word he has told you, period. You listen to everybody else but God. You go listen because you want to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear what God has to. Oh, that's not what you want to hear. I ain't trying to hear that. I already know. No, you don't know. You don't know nothing because you're in denial. So when you get out of denial, then you will know what it is and what it's going to be. But see, you don't want to hear God. You don't want to get out of your mess, but you want to be blessed. God said he's not blessing that mess, period, sweetheart. That's what he's not going to do. He's not going to bless you in that mess. So you can keep looking and, oh, God, help me. He helping you get some act right real quick. Just like we help our kids get some act right, and we have to get them right real quick. That's what he's doing to you. He helping you. And just like our kids don't think we helping them, and what? It just feels so horrible, like we're just so wrong. Okay, and honey, and it doesn't faze us at all because we know that what we're doing is for their good to better them. And that's what God is doing with you. But you don't like to hear that. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want nobody telling you what you need to do and all of this stuff. So continue. Do you, boo. But quit blaming God for you. Quit blaming everybody else but yourself. You want to look at everybody else and nitpick at everything that they do, but you never look at you. God said, look at you. He's not going to show you nobody but you. He didn't show me nobody but me. And I keep telling y'all that was I did not know how ugly my attitude was. But, I had to see me. God is not going to sugarcoat nothing. He's not going to, oh, well, I don't want to hurt Shanique's feelings. I want her to feel like, no, I know he loved me, period. And he loved me enough to show me who I am and how I look in his eyes. And I wasn't looking right in his eyes, so I got smacked right real quick. And that's all I'm trying to tell you guys. That you have not gotten off too far, or, oh my gosh, no, you don't know what I've done. And okay, but God knows and you still here. You still here. So what? What? You still breathing. You think you have you breathing? You think you saging all these bad energies out, just got you still here, whatever, and he told you all this stuff. Do not have any idols. Don't do all this stuff. Read Leviticus. I'm not going to tell y'all about Leviticus anymore. We read Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Wow. And it's on it. It is on it. Wow. Look at God. Look at God. It is already on it. He said, do not, Leviticus, this is if you are obedient. He said, do not make idols or set up an image or a sacred stone for yourselves. You know those little stones you want to talk to and say that it's bringing good and all of this and that? No, sweetheart. He said, do not make idols. No, none of these people. Don't be worshiping your boss and your job and all these other things above God. Or set up an image. You know how the signal goes. Or set up an image or a sacred stone for yourselves. And do not place a carved stone in your land to bow down before it. I am the Lord your God. Period. So why are we doing all these things and then wanting to complain? No, because he ain't trying to bless. No, you ain't trying to change. That's quit being insane and blaming everybody but ourselves. You don't want to change. You don't want to be to blame. Oh no, it's not me. It's not me. It's everybody but me. Does that even sound right? Like this? We too old. What we not gonna do as adults is continue to place blame on everybody but ourselves. Like we have no accountability for anything that we do because we got to see what everybody else do. The people that mainly are pointing the finger at everybody else, which is not of God. He said, judge not, or ye too will be judged in the same way in which you judge. But, you're not doing that either. We don't do that. And no, I don't judge. I'm just telling it like it is. But you can't see like you are. You can't even see you. How can you tell anybody about themselves when you can't see yourself? You cannot even see you. But you want to tell everybody about them. How? How can you do that? You don't listen. You're not slow to speak and quick to listen. You don't listen to nobody. So if you don't listen, you're definitely not going to listen to God. You haven't been listening to God, and you know that. I had to be real with myself. We so defensive on the things that is true or partially true or that hit a soft spot in us that we don't want to deal with. Like I said, you have to deal in order to heal, sweetheart. God will have you to deal with some stuff. He had me to deal with some stuff. We have to deal in order to heal. We want all this stuff. We want to go to this next level. We want to do all of this stuff. And I should be here and I should be all that. Trust and believe me, I do the same thing. Like, Lord, I have my Jeremiah moments because I'm sitting here actually doing the works. So I'm like, Lord, you know me. You test me. You see me. Like, I know you see me down here. You know that I do everything you tell me to do. So I know you're not going to let my pleasant being become parched. And that, we have our Jeremiah moments. I've had a Jonah moment. Clearly, I have kids. So, um, we have these moments. But are we going to let it be our lifetime, or are we going to let it be a moment? That was my moment. I had a moment, but that's done. That's not me anymore. So now I'm not so defensive about things in my past because that's not me. That's not who I am. Oh, I remember. Well, you can remember all you want, but that's not who I am, sweetheart. Period. What you're not going to do. So, as I am telling you the truth about what you going to do, you wanting to receive these blessings and stop stressing and what can I do? And you wanting to go all to these witchcraft people and these sorcerers that can tell you fake stuff because you still don't want to hear the truth. You still don't want to know what you got to do. You still really in denial. You still really don't want to hear nothing. So you're going to go to everybody but God. And then you wonder why nothing's happening for you and you working 50 million jobs. That's what you decided to do. God wanted to bless you and make you prosperous, but you wanted to go the wrong way. So what we not going to do is continue to blame my father. That's what we're not going to do. We're not going to be blaming my father, whom is so wonderful to you, who still loves you beyond you. He knows all what's up under your cover. He already discovered all that. And you still here. You still have purpose. He still sees purpose in you. And you want to continue to ignore him. Why? I don't care how blurry it looks. As long as you can hear me, we already know how the enemy works. He does this every time, and I don't have time because you have to hear what he has to say on today. We cannot continue to pray when we want to pray. We can't continue to do the things that we want to do. No, that's what you're not going to do. Starting today, what you're not going to do. See, I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I got to tell everybody that they're going to be blessed and not stressed because I want everybody to like me. I don't care. I care about you and your soul and where you're going to go. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't even tell you. I'd be like, I don't care. Oh, well, they're going to go to hell. No. I care. God still loves you. I don't know why people are making you feel so ashamed and like you to blame when you're not. Like, and making you go insane like you don't have nobody to listen to you. And oh my gosh, God is here, honey. I talk to God all day, every day. See, I don't trust nobody to be telling all my business to. Now, I have to tell y'all some stuff because God has me to tell you. But I talk to God like, man, this is the best relationship you can, because you ain't got to worry about it coming out. And he's going to help you figure this out when you are truly real with him. God, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Period. Before I took this journey, this faith journey, I had 2 babies. Kept losing jobs. Like, what in the world? Every time I get a job, my car break down. My son have an asthma attack. My daughter having problems. I mean, what in the world? What is happening, Lord? And I just cried that time when my son hugged me and he didn't want to let me go. And I'm like, okay, I love you too. And I was like, okay, why are you hugging me so tight? He was like, because I don't want you to leave. You always gone. Because mama was working and going to school. I'm thinking I'm doing everything right. I got to do this for my kids. And And I'm like, well, Lord, what the heck? Every time I try to do right, what I thought was right for my life. See, it was maybe everybody else because, I try to, it worked for my mama. It worked for everybody else. They was able to work and take care of us. So that's what I need to do. God said, not for you. And I didn't even have a clue. But when I had to take this faith journey, I didn't have nobody to talk to. because it was just me. So with two babies, and nobody understood it. I didn't understand it myself. I mean, I'm just saying, I know I heard from God, and He told me that, I had to take this leap of faith. But I had cried out to God. I finally said, I can't do this. I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do? I was like, this is breaking me down. Like, I am doing everything that I can. And now my son is acting like, I don't get to see. And I felt bad already for just seeing them at nighttime and kissing them and all this stuff. And, oh, good night. Sleep tight. I love you. Then I'm off to go to school. Then having, that with me and their dad had worked different shifts at one point. And when I get off and from school, I go straight to work for a few hours and then come home, he gone. And it was just like a cycle that had to be broken. And it had to be me to break it. And it wasn't easy. Because I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll just send them to daycare and they're going to pay for the fare. And no. Cut me completely off when I told them I would start my own business. I'm like, I thought that y'all wanted us to be. No, they don't want nothing. So I'm like, they was like, you work for nothing and we'll pay you nothing, to work for nothing. That's basically all I heard. That's how I heard it. So I was like, well, if I'm going to have nothing, I might as well have nothing, period. I ain't going to have this little bit just to, no. So I had both of my kids when I started. And nothing. And I had to figure it out. To the close started classes, I couldn't go back to school. I'm like, this is too much. My kids are needing me, wasn't with the father, so it was just a lot. I'm like, wow, Lord, I don't know what you want me to do. It's a lot. And I cried out to him, and he was like, keep going. And I kept reaching out to God because I'm like, I'm the only one. Who am I going to ask? Nobody has taken this path, but you have me on this path by myself. But he was like, you're not by yourself. I'm with you. God for you, who can be against you? He had me the whole dang on time. And it's 7 years later. I didn't know none of these skills. I didn't have the money for a website. So that's how I learned how to build a website. I didn't have the money for all the stuff that I needed for my business. So I had to learn how to do some of this stuff for business. But that's how God along the way taught me. Period. He taught me the gifts. He directed my path. That's how I started learning my gifts. I didn't learn it just, I just decided to do this stuff. I didn't even know. I'm like, Lord, I don't know how to do this. I had my Moses moment. And, even with these videos, it's like, I don't know how to do this. But he will show you if you acknowledge him in all of your ways. But if you don't acknowledge him and pray, Pray, then what are you doing? You want to keep blaming my father. That's what we're not going to do. You're not going to blame my father, not in front of me. Period. Now, I love you. And he loves you. But what we not going to do is continue to blame my father for what you decided to do. That's like me blaming him for me being disobedient and having kids out of wedlock. Why I gotta go through all of this? Oh, and I cried many a nights like, why? But I had to see myself. I am to blame. I'm the one that chose to do that. I did that. I was wrong. Dang, how hard is that? Once you can say that you're wrong and admit that you are wrong, then you can move on. But until you can do that, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. This attention stuff has to go. This victim pity party stuff has to go. It has to go. What you not gonna do. So, if you don't want no discipline, you need to quit pretending like you don't know. Because he's going to continue to discipline. He will discipline his child. Just like I'm going to discipline mine. If they continue to be disobedient, they will be disciplined. Simple. You can either be obedient if you don't want these consequences, be obedient. But you want to continue to be disobedient and think nothing is going to happen to you. Oh, like I don't see you? Like I didn't hear you? Okay. Well, don't be shocked when he disciplines you. When you get that disciplinary action for your action. Your action. There's a reaction to every action. So you can't act like and fake like something and then act confused like you didn't know that this was going to happen when God told you it was going to happen. So, as you know, before I end the show, I'm going to show you guys how you can get to watch our channel on Roku and YouTube and all the channels that you can view us on. I'm going to show you guys that and I'll be right back. So, I just wanted to show you how to get to the channels. Um, because I know there's a lot of, I do get inboxes on how do I watch you on Roku or YouTube, but I'm actually on YouTube, LinkedIn right now, actually. So if you went to YouTube right now, it would show you my Let's Dig Deep YouTube, but I also share it. I always share the YouTube video on my actual page. So that's part of what I wanted to say, but we must obey, period. That's all you're going to hear me say is that you have to obey God, period. You need to decide today that you are going to obey. You can pray all day, but until you obey God, not everybody else, not what this world told you to do and how they told you to do it, but when you start obeying God, then and only then when you will see the blessings. But you're going to continue to stress and not be blessed in your mess. You want to continue to be in your mess? That's on you. You're not hurting me or nobody but yourself. You making it hard on yourself. Why do you want to continue to be in denial? When I know how it is because don't nobody want to hear when they're wrong. I still don't. Who in their right mind really wants to hear when they're wrong? If they say that, then it's like, that line. Don't nobody want to hear when they're wrong. But see, it only took me to hear that I was wrong by God. And when God Himself told Shanidra that she was wrong, and it was, I was clearly able to see, I changed immediately because I was like, oh my gosh, this is how you see me? Mm-mm. And He sees us in reality, like, the stuff we know that we're doing wrong. So it wasn't a shocker of what I was doing. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I did not have a clue that I was doing that. I knew I was doing that stuff. So we're not going to continue to act like we didn't do this and do that when we know we've been doing that. And, quit. Like we are too old. We're grown. Supposed to be adults. Act like it. That's what you need to do. You need to act like you are an adult. I'm sorry, not act like it. That's what he said. We're done with the pretending. We're done with the acting. He said he kicking all the actors off the stage. You've been acting all day. Now it's time to pray and stop playing. You've been playing all day and you're not praying. You just keep saying, but you're not doing anything that God told you to do. That's all you just continue the same cycle over and over and over, but you don't want to change. Why? Why? You want people to keep telling you, what do I need to do? And then they tell you, that ain't what I need to do. Well, then don't ask. You don't want people to tell you the truth of what you really need to do, then don't ask. Because you really know what you need to do. You just don't want to do it. This is the same thing I talk to my kids about. You know what you need to do. I don't need to really tell you. You know right from wrong. I've already taught you this. But I'll tell you again. You know. You just don't want to. Because if you wanted to, or if you really understood, then you wouldn't continue to do it. If you didn't want to do it. You want to continue to do it. But you don't want the feeling that comes with it. You don't want to continue to feel hurt. You don't want to continue all this extra. You don't want to continue to work 50 million jobs to survive. Well, if you don't want to work 50 million jobs, decide today that you're going to pray and obey God. That's it. I'm like, God, that's all I had to do was be obedient? That's it. Like, it's that simple. And you can't even be obedient if you don't get into his word. He will help you and direct you through his word. Trust me. There's no deceitful. You get more deceived in this world and what they telling you to do than anything. You really not woke. I can see. Definitely. Beyond. So, I just want to let y'all know that in order for you to receive these blessings and stop stressing, you have to be obedient. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. I'm going to keep saying it. Y'all going to remember Leviticus. Y'all going to say, I'm going to have to read Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Y'all going to hear that 50 million times. Because that tells you. It breaks it down. You get rewarded for obedience to God. And he breaks it down to what obedience is to him. Not in your mind, but to him. And then he tells you the punishment for disobedience. And that starts at verse 14. He starts to tell you, this is what I will punish you for if you are disobedient and you do these things. Simple. You ain't got to hear me say anything. You can read it for yourself. You can continue to think that this is false and you don't have to read this and read that. I thought because I heard from God that I didn't have to read nothing. I heard from him, so I don't need to read that. But when God said what you are going to do is read my word, I'm reading his word. I'm saying his word and all of that. I'm doing all of it. I didn't think I needed it because I hear from him. I hear from him myself. I know I hear from God, so I don't have to. God said what you have to do, what you're going to learn today, you're going to learn today. So that's all I'm saying. You're going to learn to obey our Father. You're going to learn to stop blaming everybody but yourself. You're going to learn to stop complaining. He said do everything without grumbling and complaining. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to complain like I don't complain. We all do it sporadically or whatever. But what I'm saying is when you are to blame, stop complaining. Period. Hush. Shut it up. Because you don't want to continue to be in this mess. You really stress because in reality, you don't want to be in that mess. You really want a way out. And I'm telling you the way out, but you don't want to take that way out because you love whatever. Well, don't you want to be loved too? Don't you want to be, honey? There's no other love than God's love, honey. I didn't experience true love. I don't know what kind of love y'all thought I was getting or whatever, but my parents wasn't loved right. So how are they going to give me something that they didn't get? I only got it from God. So I'm learning unconditional love because of the unconditional love he has for me after all my mistakes, after all I have done wrong. All of that stuff I have done wrong, and he still can use me. He's still using me. Still. still loves me, still takes care of me. So, just like we do our kids, they do all this extra stuff, but we still there. We still taking care of them. We still loving on them. They done messed up 50 billion times. Now, if it was anybody else, we always say, if that was anybody else, you would have been gone. But since this is our child, and that's how God is, you are my child. You are my child. There's nothing. I told my kids straight up, there's nothing you can do that can stop me from loving you. Nothing. Now, does it stop me from getting mad at you or whatever? No. But me being mad for that second is not me not loving you. I will always love you. There's nothing you can do to make me stop loving you. And I made sure I made that very clear. And that's how God is. He's beyond Shanidra, so take Shanidra out. I'm talking about like there's nothing you can do to make him stop loving you. And when he disciplines you, that don't mean he don't love you and all this stuff. He's just trying to get you stubborn. You acting like you can't get no act right. I mean, dang. He said, and then if you still ain't got no act right after this, then I would have to punish you the same thing we have to do with our kids. Okay, now I done took your PlayStation. Now I'm gonna take your TV. Now you still ain't got it. Now I'm gonna have to take this. Now I'm gonna take, you still ain't got it. You still don't have it. So all God is saying for you today is that we must obey, because if we don't, we're gonna continue to be stressed and not blessed. You want all these things, and he wants to give it to you. That's the problem. He wants to give it to you. You just like my kids. I'm like, dude, I want to give this to you. I bought it for you. I bought the PlayStation for you. You are stopping you from playing the dang on PlayStation. You, because I'm being disobedient to me. That's what we not gonna do. I'm not about to bless no disobedience. The heck? I don't care if I do have this blessing for you. What you not gonna do is play it. How about that? It's gonna sit here until you can get smacked right. Period. And that's what God is saying. I got the blessing. I'm not a liar. I'm not the one to lie. I'm not your family or your friends that lie to you. He's never lied. He's always been a man of his word, sweetheart. You don't have to ever worry about him doing his part. Now, they don't come when you want it to, but it always come on time. See, I didn't understand that, but I understand it now. I understand it now. It takes patience. We must have patience. The house that you are wanting takes patience. House that I want, sweetheart, or that God has for me, it's not going to be easy, honey, because the stuff that, honey, I'm going to have to be patient. I can easily move into any little house that I want to right now. But I want my foundation to be built right on the right foundation, number one. Number two, I want this house to last. I don't want to have to do all these major repairs and stuff once I move in and all this stuff, because I didn't want to wait and all of that on a brand new house and all of that. No, we should wait and be patient. He said, wait on the Lord. So we have to wait on the Lord. No matter if we ready for it, we want it right now or whatever. We don't want to look like a clown when it comes down. Right now, we need to be preparing, because we know that what he said is going to happen. So since we know that it's going to happen, we need to be preparing for it. It's not going to look like what it's going to be like. He told them that he was going to deliver them from Egypt. He did that. Now, would anybody have ever guessed that he was going to part the Red Sea to deliver them? Did they know that it was going to get harder before they got delivered? No. Did we know that it was going to be this hard when we was delivering our children? No. It was different every time but for both of my children. So, First child, I lost too much blood. Second child, I ended up having cervical cancer that is no longer. God, He removed that. See, when you have God on your side, He will remove little anything. I was supposed to get a blood transfusion after my first child. Never got it. God restored my blood. Just like He did back then with the lady that had an issue of blood. He is the same guy He was back then. He is the same guy now, sweetheart. I can tell y'all some testimonies. That's why can't nobody tell me that this is what I've heard or this is what I've been told and this is what I've been taught and this is my life. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all have not discovered beyond the cover, sweetheart. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. So I'm here to tell you that when I didn't have a clue and I was acting like a fool, I was not blessed and I was stressed. That's how I know. I didn't want to hear nobody either. That's how I know. See, I'm not one of those to be like, and you need to, and you need to, and no, Shanidra had to. That's how she could tell you. I had to get some act right. I was not right. That's why I was stressed and not blessed. I mean, I was working a job and going to school, doing all of it, thinking I'm just doing too much. Doing too much. And still doing nothing, not getting nothing accomplished. Nothing. Nothing. What could I say for myself? Nothing at that time. But what can I say for myself now? Look at God. 7 years later on this faith journey with God. 6 years solely, no job, nothing. 6 out of the 7 years with 2 kids that y'all clearly still see. So, all I'm here to say is that we must obey when we pray. When you repent, I always tell people to at least before you repent to God and you tell God you're not going to do something, how about you just not do it before you tell Him to repent? You try not to do it for 90 days, get into that habit of not doing that. So then when you tell Him and you repent, Lord, I'm not going to do this no more. See, because the enemy already know. So the moment you telling him you're not going to do that, you're going to send that temptation right then and there. And then you're going, oh man, I messed up again. No, I'm telling you now. Ain't going to be no more, oh man, because you're going to get punished for real. So this is not something you can play with. And, I repented and I repent daily, but I'm saying that for the things I've done knowingly and unknowingly, but I'm not going to knowingly continue to do the same thing over and over and think I'm not going to get punished when He said I'm not going to go unpunished. So that's all I'm here to tell you guys on today, that we must obey. I'm going to continue to say that because you can't continue to possibly think that you're going to keep being blessed in your mess. Get out of denial. You're in denial. You don't want to change, but you want to blame everybody but yourself. You're to blame. I'm here to tell you, you are to blame. It is what it is. See, I can take somebody telling me facts and the truth and telling me about me. Tell me. Don't sugarcoat and act like I'm over here and I'm over here looking at food. Tell me. Don't have me looking crazy. Or pushing me right along like, oh yeah, no. And you know why the hell breaking loose in my life, because I ain't doing what God told me to do. So I'm telling you, all hell breaking loose. That boat is rocky, and all this storm is getting heavy because you are on the boat. You are causing a storm in your own life, Jonah. You. You also need to look at the Judas in your circle too. But you are the problem. I have nothing else to say. I'm not going to sit here and play with you. Look at yourself. Quit looking at everybody else and look at yourself. You can talk about me all you want. Oh, she try to be wrong and she going to tell me I need to. No, I told you what I needed to do. I told you all of that. But you're going to say what you want to say, all you want to say. But that's okay, because I obey the Almighty. So you can obey the Almighty or Yahweh. It's the same thing. Obey Yahweh, or you can hit the highway. Period. That's up to you. I'm not sitting here, oh, you better, and look, that's on you. Because when you talk to people like that, they ain't going to listen anyway. So I'm not saying you better do nothing, you or you don't. You want a better life? Be obedient. You don't? Yeah, that's fine. No, I do. But if you don't want to change, then you don't. It's the same way I talk to my kids whom I love. No, you don't. I do. Well, stop doing what you do to get in trouble. It don't make any sense. You want to keep sitting here doing the things to get you in trouble that you know that's going to get you in trouble, but you want to keep doing it, but you don't want to be in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. I'm not going to stop. You're not going to stop being in trouble. So you trying to stop your trouble from happening and not stopping the action that's causing the reaction to happen, then that's on you to be a fool, to be foolish. I don't like looking foolish. I don't like looking dumb, crazy. So if I'm looking crazy, I'm trying to fix it real quick. And I'm not saying I don't never look crazy, or I have. Because I'm like, dang, that was just dumb. Like, why did I even waste all that time? Or why did, the stuff I can't believe. Like, but anyways, you must pray, Pray, and obey God, period. Prey on people will get you in deeper trouble with God, because you become an enemy to God. So that's what you don't want. So you don't want to be praying. You don't want to do this witchcraft. You don't want to save. You don't want to do none of that. You just want to obey. That's it. You don't have to do all this. When you do this, this gets rid of all this. You don't have to do nothing. He's going to get rid of everybody. Your frenemies, your enemies. You can be like, dang, I thought that was... No, you ain't got to get rid of no bad spirits. You pray and tell God. You obedient to it. He's going to get rid of all of them. Then you're going to be like, dang, I feel just like all alone. Yeah, because he getting rid of all of them before he take you to the next level with them devils. He said, what you're not going to do is continue to be a fool. And he did me the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at such and such. But he, closest ones, I'm like, dang, Judas, dang, you've been with me this whole time. And you want to betray me? Like, what? So, just, go beyond the cover. Test the spirits by the spirits. And that's all I have to say. Obey God. Decide today. And pray.
Bump. Honey, see me. Behind my game, boy, I got game, girl, it comes easy.